What's good, y'all? It's Lucian back at it with another mental gym video in which I give you guys mental exercises you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals that you are after. So let's get right into it. So today I actually want to talk about something I want you guys to be able to overcome consistently, and that is uncertainty. You see, a lot of us will feel uncertainty on the path to achieving our goals. And the definition I came up with for uncertainty in the context of achieving our goals is feeling like there is no guarantee you will achieve your goals. Feeling like there is no guarantee you will achieve your goals. So, like I was just about to say, there is no guarantee in being able to achieve our goals. So we will feel uncertainty. We cannot be certain. But doesn't this make sense? Doesn't it make sense for us to be uncertain? That's how it should be. Because in reality, we cannot control outcomes. Look, you can do everything in your power to achieve a certain goal, but you cannot guarantee the fact that it will happen because things exist outside of you. There's other factors that are out at play that are outside of you. So it is natural for us to feel uncertain. And the thing with this is just because we feel uncertainty doesn't mean we should make us feel bad. And that's the problem that I see most guys run into is that they feel uncertainty and they talk about it in this way that it's so bad, right? And that's why I was like, okay, I should make a mental exercise in which guys can overcome uncertainty in this light. Because the truth is, uncertainty exists. Like you should be uncertain because you cannot guarantee outcomes. So it's okay to be uncertain, but I'm going to help you guys so you guys don't think about uncertainty in a way that limits you or makes you feel bad or makes you feel frustrated or makes you feel angry or sad or whatever, right? I want uncertainty to just be uncertainty. I don't want it to be something that you guys look at and you're like, oh man, fuck this, man. I can't guarantee this is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. So I really want to shift that for y'all. And the way that I've thought through to make you guys do this is first, or the first part of this mental exercise is action. Action. So plus, and I'll talk about the next thing in a second. So action, right? So what do I mean by action? So what I mean by action is essentially doing the things that you can control. Doing the things that you can control. And what I think about with this is work, and learn. See, the only thing that you can control in this life is pretty much yourself. There's all these things, everything else operates. Everything operates outside of you. The only thing you can control is you. And what that means is how hard you work and what you are learning, or your ability to learn from what you are working on and the work that you are doing, learning from your mistakes and stuff like that, and also learning about your industry or whatever path of goal achievement you're on. Getting access to people who can give you information that can help you. You can control those things, or you can control yourself to go and do those things that are going to serve you. But that's it. Everything else operates outside of you. But these working and learning are going to be the biggest levers on the likelihood that you achieve a goal. Yes, we cannot guarantee outcomes, but we can make it very, 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 very likely that we do achieve something. We can increase the likelihood that we achieve something by working very hard and learning knowledge or gaining knowledge that we need to allocate the work that we put in properly to increase the likelihood we achieve a goal, right? So that is why if you are not working as hard as you possibly can right now or consistently gaining knowledge or more information that you need that can serve you to help you achieve your goals, you are doing yourself a disservice. And that is what's going to make you even more uncertain because there's already the uncertainty, which means we cannot guarantee we're going to get an outcome, of course. But you can make this feel much worse. You can make your uncertainty feel much worse if you're not even going as hard as you possibly can. If you are ignorant, and what I mean by ignorant is you lack knowledge, you're not even learning. Of course you're going to be uncertain because the likelihood you're going to achieve the goal right now is very low. But if you work as hard as you possibly can, and if you ask yourself, am I working as hard as I possibly can? and you're consistently pushing your limit on how hard you could possibly work, and you're consistently reading or gaining knowledge from wherever you can from a viable source, which I'd recommend is your value circle, which is essentially people who can help you achieve your goals because they have information that can help you. I've made a value circle video, and I will link that I'll link this in the description, or I'll link that in the description so you can go and watch that so it can help you out. But basically, if you're learning from people who can help you, and you're working as hard as you possibly can, and you are asking yourself to work harder, to find ways to work harder, you are pushing your limits, you are going to be increasing the likelihood that you achieve your goal so much. And you will be seeing much more progress, which will do what? It will lower your feeling of uncertainty. This is why it's so important to really focus on yourself here. Because the thing is, if you know deep down, like there's some shit that you need to do that you're not doing. There's some work or some effort that you could be bringing out of yourself that you're not. And because of that, it is only natural you're going to feel uncertain, bro. Because the thing is, you're already dealing with the fact that in reality, there is no guarantees. You can do everything in your power, do everything right, do everything you need to do. Asteroid hits the planet, done. You do not get outcome. Because things exist outside of you. But you're only going to make it worse if you are not working as hard as you possibly can. If you're not pushing your limits. If you're not continuing to learn as much as you possibly can learn. You are only making it worse for yourself. And I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to do everything in your power. Do everything you possibly can to get what you want, right? And I'm guessing that's why you're here. I'm guessing that's why you're watching my channel. So you don't have to feel this extreme uncertainty. Uncertainty exists, but it does not have to feel so bad. Because you have to put things in your control, right? So if you are working as hard as you possibly can, if you're continuously pushing your limits, because you will always be able to work harder. The harder you work, the more ability and room you will have to work even harder. Like work works on you. The harder you work, the bigger your ceiling for effort that you can use because you get used to things. In the same way, when you go to the gym and you lift a heavy weight, if you lift 30 pounds week in, week out, eventually it'll start to feel light because you've gotten stronger. So that means you can increase the weight. And the same is the case for whatever work you need to do to achieve your goal. The more you do certain work, right, the more you will be able to work, the more you will be able to do. So continuously pushing your limit. And then if you tack this on with knowledge and learning and getting valuable information from people who can help you achieve your goals because they have information you need, you will be almost unstoppable. You will be sprinting at your outcome, or you have increased the likelihood that you'll achieve the outcome so much, right? And this is what makes it so important. So if you're doing all of those things and you have all those things, there still will be uncertainty. And that's where we get into the next part of this exercise that is really important as well. And that is acceptance. So even if you're doing everything in your power, which please do everything in your power. I'm telling you, it will get rid of most of your feeling or frustration that comes from uncertainty. You need to accept. And what I mean accept is you need to accept the truth. You literally just need to accept this. You need to accept that there's no guarantees. That's the honest truth, guys. We just need to accept that we live in a world where that is uncertain. We just live in an uncertain world. Accept that fact. Don't try to change it. Don't wish reality was a different way, because when you try to change it, you realize you can't change it. That makes you frustrated. When you complain about it, that just makes you frustrated because you're like, oh, I want it to be a different way, but it's never going to be like that. Foolish. If you wish it was different, also wasting your time because it will never be different. You will just be frustrated. All these things waste time. What can have you ultimately overcome uncertainty is accept it as something that exists and that you're okay with. It's okay that the world will not give me certainty. It's okay. Just accept it. Be all right with it. It's fine. There's nothing you can do about it. Just like you cannot control if it rains tomorrow. And right now, I'm guessing, I hope so, you don't care about the weather because you realize it's something you can't control. Well, uncertainty is the same thing. You cannot control outcomes, guys. You cannot guarantee something is going to occur. So just don't care. Just do everything you possibly can to increase the likelihood that you achieve something. And a dangerous thing that I see a lot of people do, because it's so funny, and even from what I'm about to say, it goes to show how like a lot of us say things, but we don't make it real for us. Like everybody can say wise things. Anybody can say wise things that sound really cool, or we say things that sound really cool, but we don't live by them. We don't actually accept these things because people will say already, even with me already saying all this, you've probably heard someone say nothing is guaranteed. But people don't live by that because people will say nothing is guaranteed and then do shit like, I will win, or say, I will make this shot. And I'm not saying it's bad to be confident, but what I'm saying is you've just created an unnecessary frustration and a bad expectation that leads to frustration that is unnecessary that could have been avoided. What do I mean by this? Because I just explained how nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Things exist outside of us. Things happen outside of our control, period. I would assume all of us agree on that, hopefully, right? Things happen outside of us. So when you say I will do something or something will happen, you're creating a false expectation, or it's not a false expectation, but you're creating or expecting a guarantee. You're expecting a guaranteed outcome, which is the problem. Because what happens if you don't make the shot? What happens if you don't win? You will be mad. You will be frustrated. But you're only frustrated and mad because you created the expectation of a guarantee in a world that does not give guarantees. So, what I mean by this is if you make expectations, or if you're basically delusional, you make expectations that do not line up with reality, you are giving yourself unnecessary frustration. If you can control what you do, if you say, I'm going to try my hardest to make this shot, the only person you can be frustrated at if you do not try your hardest is yourself, which is a good thing. Why? Because you can control your actions. You can control how hard you work. After you realize you did not go as hard as you possibly could, the next time you can force yourself to go harder. But the thing is with guarantees, if you say I will make this shot, you can't just say the next time I will make this shot. Because at the end of the day, you cannot guarantee that outcome. So let's say for the next 30 times you try to shoot a basketball, for example, like you cannot guarantee the ball is going to go in. So if you get mad every single time it goes in, it's like, to me, it's unnecessary frustration. If for you, you're like, man, solution, you're talking about bullshit. I like saying stuff is guaranteed going to happen. It hypes me up or it makes me feel confident. Do you? This is just obviously my more opinion territory. I just don't want you guys feeling unnecessary frustration. Because I feel like that frustration could be used in a beneficial way on yourself and on what you can control when you set expectations based on what you can control. I just don't think frustration based on reality that comes from an obvious thing, which is we cannot guarantee outcomes. I don't think you should get frustrated about shit like that. That's the whole point of this video. I don't want you guys getting frustrated over uncertainty. I don't want uncertainty to limit you or stop you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. I just don't want that. I just much rather you guys, because I'm saying this because I personally struggled with this for a while. Like it took me a very, very fucking long time for this to become real for me and to realize, oh shit, I actually cannot guarantee anything. Shit exists outside of me that I cannot control. And then when I finally got to the point where I accepted that, I'm like, damn, life is so much better now. Because I'm not making an expectation in my mind that is forcing something to occur. Also, you guys should definitely go check out my expectation video, which I'll link in the description, because it really goes in depth about this expectation thing and how it really affects us. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. Like for me, like when I had just accepted and realized like, bro, I cannot control outcomes, bro. Like I cannot guarantee shit. I shifted my entire way that I create expectations and goals. Goals is nice for setting a destination, but I cannot guarantee the outcome. The goal, all it does for me is it will help me create a strategy based on all of the actions and all of the shit I'm going to learn to help me achieve whatever goal. Because this is what matters. Why does this matter? Because I can guarantee this. I can guarantee that I'm doing everything in my power. I can guarantee that. And I can get frustrated at myself if I'm not and get to the point where I do everything in my power. Whereas outcomes you can never guarantee. You can never guarantee them. I don't care who you are. You cannot guarantee an outcome. It does not mean outcomes can occur based on you and you doing something. Of course they can, but you still can't guarantee it as long as you live in a world where other people exist. So this is why I'm saying, guys, you guys need to accept the fact that there is uncertainty. Outcomes are not guaranteed. Please, please accept it. And the reason why I'm repeating it over and over again is so it becomes real for you. You really edge this into your brain. Every time you're about to say something, you always think in your head, okay, is this expectation I'm about to make? Meaning, is this thing I'm about to say based on something that is going to occur? Is it based on shit that I can control, or is it based on an outcome? Because if you make it based on an outcome, you may potentially give yourself unnecessary frustration. And I'm telling you, the frustration isn't useful. It's not useful. Be frustrated at shit that you can control so that you can push yourself harder and it will make sense. Instead of sitting here in this no space after you don't get what you want, pouting like a child, you're like, man, I want this thing. I didn't get it. Like, bruh, I don't want y'all to do that. Y'all grown men, bro. You can't be doing this. You gotta just focus on the work. You gotta focus on the actions. Focus on increasing your knowledge and working really hard because at the end of the day, bro, that's all we can do. So yeah, so that is pretty much my uncertainty or how to overcome uncertainty mental exercise. I just really think this is really powerful, y'all. If you guys can just shift your mind and shift how you make expectations, your life will be just so much better because you'll focus on doing what matters. And when you are doing everything that you can control, if you're working as hard as you possibly can and gaining as much knowledge as you possibly you can feel fulfilled and satisfied in that. Because uncertainty will always exist. Uncertainty will always exist. It will always exist. It will always exist. We do not know what tomorrow holds, but we know what we can do today. And we should be happy and focus on that. We should accept the fact that uncertainty is a thing and it will always exist for as long as we live. I'm telling you, the sooner you accept this, the better your life can be in terms of achieving your goals. You can stay in the game much longer because the guys who consistently create expectations based on outcomes, they will never get to stay in the game as long as they need to win. Because things will consistently go wrong and they'll keep getting frustrated, keep getting frustrated, keep getting frustrated till they decide to give up. But you're cold. You're going to be different. You're going to realize I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. And I'm going to be satisfied and fulfilled with that because I know I'm doing everything in my power to increase the likelihood that I achieve my goals. And even when shit goes wrong and even when you don't get the outcomes, you're not going to be mad because you accept that this is reality. You accept the fact that this is reality. You accept the fact that there's no guarantees in life. You accept it. You don't just know it, you accept it. You internalize it. It is you. It is how you see the world now. Don't just think to yourself like, oh, nothing's guaranteed, y'all. No, it needs to be deep. It needs to be real for you. You need to consistently think about this until it is real for you because I'm telling you, it will make an extreme difference for you. I'm telling you, y'all, this is just so important. It makes such a big difference. It took me too long to really deepen this in my mind, but it has made all the difference because now I feel like I can just work as hard as I possibly can and gain as much knowledge as I possibly can to help me work harder. And it just feels great. And I feel satisfied and I feel fulfilled because I know at the end of the day, and I'll be able to live with the fact that I did everything I could, even if I don't get the shit that I want. We all want the shit that we want. I get it. But we cannot guarantee that we get it. And that's okay. And we have to learn to accept that because the sooner we do, the better we will feel. So yeah, so please give me feedback on this. Did this make sense? Do you believe now like, okay, I gotta learn to just work as hard as I possibly can, do everything I can, make sure to question myself, to continuously push my limits and work harder and harder and harder. Why? So I can increase the likelihood that I do get an outcome, but I also must learn and make it real for me and accept the fact that I cannot guarantee outcomes regardless. I cannot do it. So I should just focus on what matters, which is doing what I can control. And I'll avoid making expectations based on outcomes because I can't control outcomes. And if you make expectations based on outcomes, you will cause yourself unnecessary frustration that is not worthwhile, in my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want to do. If you're like someone who's just like, I always have to tell myself I will win, this will happen, I will make sure, blah, 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 do that. If that works for you and it makes you take action, at the end of the day, I want you guys to just take action on your goals anyway. If that's what makes you take action, then fine. But I just believe you would be better served if you just made expectations based on what you can control and just say, I will try hard, I will try my best, I will do everything I possibly can. Because to me, you can control that and it will make you feel much more fulfilled and much more satisfied. So, or if you didn't like this, or if you want to drop feedback and be like, nah, this was stupid, I'm gonna do shit my own way, fuck your solution, this made no sense. Either way, drop it in the comments. It helps me all become a better YouTuber so I can better give you guys mental exercises that better help you and increase the likelihood that you become successful. And also, please, 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 if you liked it, like the video, boost this in the algorithm so more guys can see this. Realize that uncertainty is something that will never go away. It is a part of life. It is a part of reality. And the quicker they accept that and then just focus on the shit that they did, and they just focus on the shit that they can control, then it'll increase the likelihood that they achieve their goals and stay in the game, because staying in the game is what matters. Because if you're able to stay in the game, then you increase the likelihood that you achieve your goals, because what matters is never quitting at the end of the day. The longer you stay in the game, the higher the likelihood that you can achieve your goals. So yeah, so with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next mental gym video. Peace.